All right, let's get started here. Welcome everybody. It's Monday morning, and this is actually a real Monday morning, not the feel of a Monday morning, but an actual Monday morning. If you were on Friday, Friday felt like Monday as well. It's all very confusing. The holidays are over. That is it, people. So rip down the Christmas lights. Don't even get on a ladder. Just rip them off there. Anyway, the S&Ps this morning are trading some size. We've got 165,000 contracts, but far be it for me to find anything that's up. You know, it's yes, you have the energy sector that has a bid under it, but it's the energy sector, and all I can really find is the energy sector in Nvidia. That's it, people. So take a look at the financials this morning. The financials are actually down on the morning. Taking a look at Apple, just to make a quick point here, Apple's actually slightly off. Everything else is fairly flat. I mean, Amazon, oh, but still my heart, it's up like $1.50. There's nothing really making any big strategic moves. Okay, Tesla does have a bid. I will give you that. Meta was pretty much down and unchanged, which it is. It's Nvidia, maybe a little bit of Broadcom. That is your marketplace. And again, the energy sector has a bid. I'm not going to dispute that one as well. Right out of the gate, obviously popped to the upside, immediately pricing in any possibility of upside in there. ExxonMobil, Chevron. We'll take a look at that after the cash open. But this is a just an interesting move right out of the gate here this morning, because the move is, you know, the usual suspects, but Nvidia hasn't really been one of the drivers lately. It just hasn't. So Nvidia is breaking to the upside here today, nominally, but it's enough. I mean, there's enough market cap behind it. That's your move. And interestingly enough, on this front, if you take a look at the expected move in the SPX for today is about $34. And that's exactly the move that we're opening into. As we do come into the cash open, the advanced decline line is still sloptastic. Let's come to that bell. With a sloptastic advanced decline line, and what I'm talking about with sloptastic, people, okay, you're like, oh yeah, we're really rallying today, rallying on a negative advanced decline line. Yeah, I got your rally right here, big guy. There's not a whole hell of a lot to talk about and to look at cash open other, than, well, Nvidia, brought to you by Nvidia, the entire marketplace wrapped up in one underlying, which is exactly why I talk about and reference order flow so often. I talk about and reference order flow because, well, I'm going to tell you right now, whatever Nvidia's order flow is into the open, sets the tone for that marketplace, because this is literally, look around the tape today, people. It's a one stock market. And I know that people are going to be like, yo, energy, all of energy combined. We're going to look in a little bit. We'll look at Chevron. We'll look at ExxonMobil. Look at ConocoPhillips. Let's get crazy. Throw them all together. And they still don't equal squat. I mean, they don't equal like the market cap that Nvidia is moving today. We have come that far. Okay, the stupidity of the market capitalization is wild, which again, we'll look at that. So out of the gate this morning, as I said, order flow, well, that's what matters. And Nvidia right now, it's only mildly bullish. I hate to throw any cold water on this 2% move, but it's only mildly bullish. You definitely have some call buying going on. Now, for those of you that are new, what are you new? Huh? New people? We got new people? Any new people? If you have anybody new in here, traded at the ask or above, let's highlight that for a second. Okay, everybody see it? Let's just highlight traded at the ask or above. Don't worry about the S&Ps. They're running. Most of your tech stocks, though, are flat to slightly down. Okay, look, I see 3 in the red. 3 in the red. And Google is just waffling back and forth. Again, Tesla, he had dinner with Trump. Oh boy, are we going to go through the whole thing? You can't buy a Tesla again. Don't do that, please. I can't buy any more Teslas. I've been banned by my wife by buying more Teslas. Okay. I buy the Elon dips. You're supposed to buy the stock. No, I just bought the cars. Okay. Um, if you take a look at traded at the ask or above, what that basically means, and to put the exact implications of traded at the ask or above, okay, it's a clear and decisive indication of buy side, in this case, on calls. Okay, so that's a clear indication. You go, how do you know they're buying? They might be closing the position. Absolutely not. Okay, when you are, okay, buying calls, trading at them at the ask or above, right, you know that someone is coming in there to be, all right, effectively a buyer. And if you traded at the ask or above, like this number right now is 42,000, traded at the bid or below is 31,000. There is an order imbalance in there, okay, where trade is just buying at the ask. It's like the market's $3 at 310. You're like, I'll take them. What do you mean you'll take them? Yeah, I'll take them at 310. Take all I can get at 310. Give them to me because I love just buying the calls in here. And when you're buying those calls, the market maker is in turn selling you the calls, okay, and buying stock for hedge. That is the most critical portion of understanding why does trade at the ask or above matter? Because, okay, in this chain, what it basically does, and like when people talk about like market makers and dealer gamma, most of them don't know what the hell they're talking about, okay? Really, in the end, all it is your actions as a retail trader, okay? Your actions, they have consequences. No, your actions, okay? There's a reaction behind it. Your action of buying calls is causing the market making firm to sell calls, buy stock. And buying stock, you know what buying stock does? It makes stocks go up. That's it. Okay. And literally you get the cyclical feedback loop to where you're buying calls and it's forcing the market maker to buy stock, and you're buying calls and it's forcing market maker to buy stock. But the more stock that the market maker buys, okay, the more stock that other market making firms have to buy as the calls that they sell go further in the money. Okay. The reason I'm highlighting this morning is there's an imbalance in here, meaning that yes, I can see some call buying, blatantly obvious, but it's not huge. It's not huge. So I would immediately suggest to you there's going to be wild instability in these S&Ps and NASDAQ today. Okay. And I'm telling you that just based solely on this. What's going to happen is a bunch of monkeys that bought calls, they're going to turn around and sell them because the calls being bought are only minimally outpacing the calls being sold. That can change. And again, I can't see, all right, anything beyond what you're seeing right now. Meaning, like, I can't tell you, like, what's the next order flow that's going to come in. Okay. What you use in that case, when you say, like, well, what's the next order flow? Whatever the present order flow is, okay, I make just an assumption based on current order flow. Yes, there's call buying in here, and yes, there's some call selling. But based on the current order flow, my assumption moving forward is that order flow would be consistent with what you're seeing on the screen. And if it is, eventually, okay, the call selling will kind of catch up. Now, conditions can change, whereas somebody could come in here and just start buying up a huge number of calls. Good. But you have to look at this like I would look at statistics. Statistics basically says all things being equal, wherever something is, the highest probability of where it's going is exactly where it is, within a very small standard deviation of that. And that's actually order flow kind of follows a lot of that, those guidelines, which implies at this point that Nvidia is going to have some pretty wicked two-sided trade. And look at the last 2 minutes as I'm explaining that exactly what's happened. You're going to get some two-sided trade. If you get some two-sided trade there better be something else, okay, that picks up the slack. Right now, it is Tesla. Tesla's kind of covering the tracks. You're like, it's going to be okay, man. Okay, and maybe it is. Okay, taking a look at ticks this morning. Ticks are barely positive. The advanced decline line, and I'll continually reiterate the advanced decline line. Over the last couple of weeks of trade, as markets have kind of stagnated and everybody's like, no, we're hitting all-time highs, man. Like, that's, to me, that's a hell of a lot of stagnation. Okay, have you stagnated lately? Okay, so this stagnation, yes, we are right near the highs of it. No question about that. I'm not arguing that, but we've kind of stagnated, okay, for a long period of time now. And with this stagnation in the markets, okay, we have been basically in this constant 50-50 crap fest, okay, where it's just everybody just rotates. Go to this side of the boat. Let's go to this side of the boat. Let's go to this side of the boat, okay? And, that's really weird. The financials just ripped, okay? Somebody likes the financials. Look at that out of the gate. This is exactly what I'm talking about with like rotations, okay? Did anybody see that one coming? I mean, these were down pre-market. Let's go look at the order flow. There isn't any. Okay, there's like no order flow in here at all. There's 2,000 contracts have actually traded, right? There's just a hamster holding this crap up. Yeah, that one actually caught me a little bit off guard. That's a 1% move from a product that was actually down in the pre-market. So, okay, what do you think of this rotation? Anybody? I'm going to leave this to your own devices. What do you think the rotation into the financials is? Okay, I'm just going to come right out with it. Okay, if they're rotating towards financials, they're going to smoke a couple tech stocks, period. They're going to smoke a couple tech stocks, which means there's going to be sell side. Here it is. And there is sell side. Okay, it's a rotation, period. There's no if, and, or but about it. All you're doing is seeing some capital right now. They're like, rotate. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Go to the other side of the boat because we need to prop this crap up. They're not really propping it up. The only thing that's really causing the S&Ps to rally right now is a little bit of Nvidia, but that's even like fading. Right now, it's Tesla. Okay, Tesla's back on the bid. You're in the good graces, okay, of the presidency once again. Okay, Tesla's numbers last week were not exactly spectacular either. Yeah, see, nobody cares. It's our favorite line over here. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about anything. Okay, let's talk about the energy sector for a second, and we'll come back. There's no tweets. There's nothing like that. See, it's interesting because when I start talking about like, well, look at this move, you're like, oh, it's got to be news related. There's no news. Nobody gives a damn. Okay, there is no news. Venezuela did not move markets. Did you notice? Okay, we're what? 12, 15 minutes into me talking. Haven't even mentioned Venezuela because it's not going to fundamentally change the markets. Let me throw something out to you for a second. Okay, let's go to ExxonMobil, the biggest and the baddest of them all. ExxonMobil breaks to the upside. Is this in part because of Venezuela? Absolutely. But let's look at the market capitalization here. Okay, what we really want to start to break down and why. Okay, I mean, look, I know that throughout the course of today's trading session, we've already had Garrett this morning before the cash open talk a little bit about the Venezuela, but issues, and we're going to have a lot of people that are going to make commentary about that throughout the course of the day because it's in the news and so forth. But allow me to state this, and I'm going to give you a very different perspective. Okay, ExxonMobil's entire market cap is $500 billion. Okay, it's $500 billion. So let's just put it 500 billion. Hold that thought. Now we're going to Nvidia. Nvidia is a $4.6 trillion company. Okay. Close that up. 4.6 trillion. Every dollar that Nvidia moves, okay, every dollar Nvidia moves is $24 billion of market capitalization. So ExxonMobil today, okay, rallied up $1. So if ExxonMobil rallies up $1, $1.50, it's worth about $6 billion in market cap. Okay, so this is worth about $6 billion in market cap. If Nvidia, if you will, and you're like, what does Nvidia have to do with Venezuela? I'll tell you exactly what it has to do with. The market cap is so big in Nvidia, okay? Nvidia's move today, not yesterday, but like, look, Nvidia was up over 2% today. Okay, it was like 2.5%. It's already pulled back. Nvidia's move, just the move today in market cap, is worth more than the entire Venezuela economy. Okay, by over double at this point. Yeah, are we done? Okay, good, because I don't want to hear it anymore. Because it's news, and news is worth nothing. It's absolutely worth nothing, and I can't stress that enough. That when you're looking at this thing, like, there's a stock that moves, $3-4 in a day. If Nvidia moves $4, it's $100 billion of market cap. Okay, yeah, you do even have $100 billion of GDP coming out of Venezuela. Oh, you don't? Okay, again, enough said. And it's that easy. And you're like, that's one stock. I didn't even bring up Tesla. I didn't bring up Tesla because Tesla right now is, 3.5% move. This is a $15 move times it's about 3 billion shares. Okay. So what are you really moving in market cap? You're just shy of about 50 billion in market cap. Okay. So it's about 50 billion in market cap that we're moving inside of Tesla. Yeah, interesting. Okay, interesting. By the way, I mean, there's commentary. Venezuela is another Iraq, Afghanistan. It's nothing of the kind. Okay, it's not going to be anything like that. This is over and done with. People don't have to, worry about in the markets and so forth. Like if you trade energy heavily, okay, I would look for energy to pull back from here because everything good is usually priced in instantaneously. It is pulling back a little bit. But if you take a look, because people are always like, oh, somebody in the marketplace knew. Somebody knew something because, it was already bid. Yeah, maybe they did. But today, it's already pulled back to the upper edge of the expected move, which means relatively normal move, right? So just keep that in mind. Yeah, the one thing when it comes to trading, don't get sucked up into politics. Who gives a damn? Okay. If you're, politically charged person, you should be careful about what you think and feel versus what you're going to execute in terms of trades. You got to separate the two because and I'll give you an interesting argument. If you say it's going to be another Afghanistan or Iraq, good, you should be buying weapons companies. Like if you really think that, you should be buying who builds missiles? Who builds them? Okay. Supplies, all right, weapons and ammo. Look towards, any type of weapons manufacturers. It's usually a good buy anyway. But in this particular case, okay, it's an event, but it's a bit of a non-event as it relates to the markets. And the reason that Venezuela is a non-event as it relates to the markets is, okay, it's the only way to describe it is market cap is just too big in a couple of products. Okay. You don't think in terms of Nvidia is bigger than any sovereignty other than maybe the US, China. Okay. When you think of Nvidia, right, you start thinking of the size of France economy. Okay. That's how wild we've come. It's actually bigger than that. And it's weird because yes, I'm comparing market capitalization to GDP. Okay. But what people are missing about that comparison, yes, the two don't mesh. What people are missing about that comparison is, okay, there's more movement on a day-to-day basis in Nvidia's market cap, okay, than GDP for an entire quarter in most sovereignties. And that's the only real comparison because you sit there and you wonder, how come this event happened and nothing in the market gives a damn? Okay. And that today's rally has nothing to do with Venezuela and everything to do with, Tesla. Ironically, if anything, okay, what's more important, okay, than Venezuela? The fact that, and this sounds crazy, okay, if you really want to get into the politics, Trump had dinner with Elon Musk. There you go. That's worth $50 billion. Okay. Best damn dinner he ever had. What do you think he had? Okay. Did he go for the lamb chops? Huh? Completely rare? Yeah, I was going towards a little bit of Silence of the Lambs, but Extra order of lamb chops. All right, we're good. We're good. Yeah. Canadian oil is taking a hit. Nobody likes you. Sorry. That was a reference to Canada. Uh, I don't know why Canadian oil is easy to refine. Okay. Uh, you look at that. So I early in my career, I knew a couple of traders that worked in Chicago that were, oil traders. And these, when I say they're oil traders, okay, they were in the oil business. Like they're going up, they're buying wells, they're helping arbitrage for like ExxonMobil and Chevron and so forth. This group was really big in the 90s. They know everything about like oil. And it was always so interesting listening to them like scrappy oil. Venezuela, okay, is tough. Which I will give you this: Garrett is right on that one. He was talking about that a bit this morning. If you guys missed this morning, he was talking about what it takes to refine Venezuelan oil. By the way, the S&Ps are pulling back here a little bit. The advanced decline line continues to be completely sloptastic. And again, I'm going to reiterate, ticks this morning, okay, they're positive 500. The ticks have turned positive. And again, the only thing, okay, that has me a little baffled this morning is how significant the rotation is towards the financials. Now, granted, I know I have a position that expires in 4 days in the financials. I do, well aware. And the financials, okay, hit the lower edge of their expected move last week. They've literally hit the upper edge of the expected move. It is a wicked reversal right now, okay? This is a wicked reversal. And I'm going to tell you something about the reversal into the marketplace. When I say a reversal, you're like, what do you mean? Markets are not reversing, okay? It's still pretty early, but the rotation is so heavy right now into the financials. The assumption is that they're going to continue to smoke a couple of stocks and that it is going to have an impact, a material impact, and start to reverse even the S&Ps. Okay. Right now, at least from where I sit, looking at the financials rallying this much, you would expect continued sell side activity of a few of the tech stocks. Okay. And that's what matters this morning. There's a reversal inside of the energy product. I mean, energy was up more, yada, yada, yada. As I said, it's pulling back to the edge of its expected move. So I'm trying to really, I've spent 20 minutes already this morning, but this is very big picture. Be real careful as this day progresses. If I can find entry into a short position at some point in the S&Ps, okay, I would likely take it, but I think I already missed it. And again, I don't mind saying that. Okay. So I'll be early. I'll never be late. You'll always hear me say that too about trades. I'm very happy to be early. Okay. I'll show up early, get there before the crowd. Okay. The market might continue to rally, but I'll be damned if I'm going to be late. I will never be late. Okay. I do not short into a hole. I do not short into a hole ever. That's a hole. Okay. If this thing bid back, got a little crazy, maybe got up here to like, 69.45. Okay. Then we shall dance. Okay. But right now, nope, it's not there for me. This is exactly what the marketplace was expected to move today. Okay. It is what it is. So let's sit tight. Let's see how this thing actually plays out. But what's strange to some people is I see maybe the XLF rallying being a negative for the marketplace, because if the financials are rallying, they're going to be rotating out of tech. That's been the quintessential trade as of late. Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. All right. By the way, speaking of financials, you're only a few days away from them releasing earnings, huh? Look at JP Morgan. Okay, here we go. We're days out, 2 weeks out. We're going to be talking about earnings already. I feel so dirty. Okay. Apparently JP Morgan's the big winner with Venezuela. There's nothing in here. This is just a rotation. Okay. Goldman Sachs. Okay. They never let a crisis go to waste. Look at Goldman Sachs in the last 2 trading sessions. So this is interesting because Goldman Sachs is they're outperforming even the energy stocks. So they're the big winner. They are the big winner behind this. Quick glance here. Okay. Well, that's interesting too. GE Aerospace, big reversal, right back to the cash open, and there is movement, okay, to the upside in VVIX. So I did want to bring this into scope because I can see it up here as well. There's movement higher. There's movement higher, okay, in most of your volatility contracts this morning, which categorically speaking doesn't make a lot of material sense to people. Think about this. The markets are rallying, and instead of volatility crushing, volatility is actually slightly expanding. The VVIX, has just steadily been on a bid back under that. And to me, this is not at all surprising. Okay. Why are you seeing volatility bid? Well, we're coming into the beginning of the year. Okay. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's uncertainty. Now we're coming back out of the vacation time. Everybody comes back to work and they're like, holy crap, volatility is low. And they just start buying volatility. Enough said on that front. That's really what this looks like. Okay. I wouldn't read into it any deeper than that. And what I mean by that is when you start looking at like volatility, they're buying volatility. I wouldn't say that somebody's buying volatility because they think the market's going to collapse right now. That's not the case. What I'm saying is they're buying volatility because it's the beginning of the year, okay? And crap could hit the fan at any point, and we'll see how things roll. That's really what I would see constructively out of volatility today. Speaking of volatility, okay, that's a conversation piece. So I find it interesting that Broadcom's getting hammered, they're buying Nvidia, okay. It's buying a little bit of Meta. It's very selective today, okay. It's buying a little bit of Tesla. $50 billion dinner. Ooh, tastes good. A lot of Elon haters out there, okay. Have you experienced self-driving recently? Have you? Okay. Do you have any idea how good it is? It's hard to hate anything at that point. Meanwhile, okay, as good as self-driving is as bad as my new iPhone is. It sucks. iPhone 17 Pro sucks. There's nothing in there that's worth anything better than an iPhone 15 and their new operating system. Let me just inform you, it sucks. Okay, it does. Okay, absolutely sucks. By the way, yeah, seriously, the self-driving, okay, in Tesla, I'm not even joking with that one. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, ridiculous. The coolest technology I have ever experienced outside of like when the first time you got on like ChatGPT and you're like, son of a, this little bastard actually knows things. Okay. Has anybody not had that experience yet? Is there anybody in here? Come on, come forward. Have you not really experienced AI lately? Okay. But there's AI where it's like, I can write an English paper. Okay. I can do math, which is really helpful, by the way, because my kids have gotten to the point in school. I'm like, I can do math. Okay. I can't do that math. I don't remember no Pythagorean theorem off the top of my head. Actually, Pythagorean theorem I'm perfect in, but it's other things I can't remember. Okay. My daughter's like, I'm in imaginary numbers. And I'm like, I imagine you're going to be using ChatGPT. But imagine ChatGPT or whatever, and it's in the physical world. It's real world, people. Oh, it's ridiculous. Um, Eric was asking me about OpenAI and the IPO. Yeah, so OpenAI will IPO. Just to give you guys a heads up, like from what I heard, and this comes from a very reliable, very well capitalized source. Okay, you can't even in the private offerings, you can't get any OpenAI shares, okay, before this IPO. So what I'm actually referencing in this case is, okay, before a stock even goes IPO, okay, shares of that stock do trade in the private sector. And this is through a bunch of different offerings. Like, for instance, employees might want to cash out of a portion of it. Okay. Happens all the time. But when you do that, okay, when shares are offered in a private offering, okay, there's a huge, okay, chunk that's taken out. And from what I have actually heard, and again, from very reliable source, is that nobody outside of a few billionaires, okay, have really been offered any shares, okay, which I don't like it. And I don't have to like it, and I don't want to like it. And I'm just going to explain, like, again, what that kind of means is, look, them going public, OpenAI going public, okay, is a liquidity event for insiders. They're not selling all the stock, but they're selling stock, okay, and they're raising capital. But I feel in this particular instance, okay, it is going to be fully valued. That trying to get involved expressly inside of the IPO, okay, seems completely ridiculous. I will have no part of it. I personally will not be buying shares of OpenAI in the IPO at any valuation when it initially comes out, because it's going to be incredibly high valuation. I'll let market forces kind of grip hold, and we'll see from there. I mean, I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't like when you're already in this pre-IPO phase. They're not letting a single share go out. The demand in there is absolutely huge. They know that the demand is going to be huge. It's going to be the biggest IPO, like, pretty much ever. And when it does come to public fruition, okay, I mean, I always feel in a situation like this that the retail trader is going to be kind of left holding the bag. That's where the risk is not the insiders. They get, come on, they've made their money. Some of them have already, cashed out of portions of their shares. Okay, this is a liquidity event for them, meaning that everybody on the inside gets to cash out of a little bit. They get to cash in a couple of chips. The company gets, valued at a ridiculous number. The company also gets this massive infusion of capital. I mean, it's what you want, okay, as an IPO. They're going to get everything they want. But the key to this is, and the key to the IPO, the market as a whole. Let's talk about the market. The S&Ps need to hold it together, okay, for OpenAI to come out with this IPO. So if the S&Ps, they start to waver and sell off even a few hundred points, it's over. They're not going to IPO the stock. Okay. They're going to need everybody on the street to buy into this. And I want you guys to understand something. Everyone is in on it. What I mean by that is, you have any idea how big the syndicate is going to have to be for this? If you have no idea what a syndicate is, okay, the bunch of banks that get together and they go, all right, huddle up. We're all going to sell. We're all going to be positive. Okay. And if you have any analysts that are negative, okay, you kill them right now. Just take them out. Okay. And just off them. Okay. Put them in the East River. It's better that way. The syndicate is going to be absolutely massive. The other one that's going to come out, okay, that's going to be equally as impressive, okay, in terms of magnitude, would be SpaceX. SpaceX is actually going to go IPO as well, and in a similar time frame. So, and again, it's a liquidity event, yada yada yada. It's tough. Companies used to go IPO much earlier. Okay, this one, like, I mean, they have waited and they've waited. By the way, they've hired at OpenAI. I think I read, like, it's over 100 former, like, Goldman Sachs investment bankers. I guess if you work at Goldman Sachs, for a couple of years, look at this, we're actually bid back up. You work at Goldman Sachs for a few years, get a nice title under you, you end up getting hired by OpenAI. It's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Read the other day, their compensation package is through the roof. The average employee at OpenAI, it's in the millions. It's including stock compensation. The average employee is making millions of dollars every single year. There's not any other company is not even close to what OpenAI is doing for their employees. So when it does go IPO, there's going to be it's not a huge number, but a few hundred, a few thousand, okay, multimillionaires in there, but they're making a fortune over there. All right, onward and upward, okay. So sorry, I'm just looking over here. Yeah, XLV is getting sold a little bit. Yeah, look at this thing, okay. You're killing me, Smalls. Like I just, was down this morning. I was happy with that. Okay, I could have been somebody. And yet now, what do we got over here? Okay, buying financials. Can anybody give me a real reason like the financials look like this? Huh? Okay, a real reason. Oh, the Fed's cutting interest rates, but they're not going to cut interest rates. There's still inflation. Okay, I can't come up with a lot of great reasons. Like people want fundamental reasons. Okay, I can't. The financials are I'm too close to it. I was in the industry for too long. Okay. They suck. They always suck. They're terrible. Have you been to a large bank? Go into a Bank of America. It's basically like Walmart at this point, minus the naked baby. They don't allow naked babies running around in Bank of America. Walmart, assure you, there's at least one naked child in there. But the financials, not so much. Okay. All right, let's go back. Let's actually take a look at a couple of positions. I did have an itinerary for today. Okay, I've lost some of that, but let's go back to it. We finally have a 5-day trading week. How about that? It's been a while, people. And then we only go 2 weeks, and then we actually have like a day off. Martin Luther King Day, Columbus Day, not Columbus, President's Day. I was thinking. All right. There's one in January. There's one in February. You can't get it straight. Okay. The reason I can't get it straight, last couple of years, I'm typically on the island at this time of the year. I think I am going to go back to the island at the end of January too. So I'm typically like on the island at this time of the year, and they have holidays like every other day. Every other day on the island is a holiday. That's how they keep people from getting island fever. Okay. It just don't work. They're like, all right, taking a holiday, but it's an island holiday. The United States Virgin Islands, okay, were under a lot of different sovereignties over hundreds of years. And instead of just saying like, okay, we're the US now, we're going to adopt US customs. No, not in the Virgin Islands. In the Virgin Islands, they've adopted every custom from every sovereignty that has ever taken over those islands. Okay. We still drive and not on the right-hand side of the road. We drive on the left-hand side of the road. What the hell is that about? Yeah, don't worry about it. We take holidays, for like Three Kings Day. I'm like, what? I have no idea what that is. Okay. I mean, they're taking days off. There's Boxing Day, there's Kwanzaa. It just goes on and on. And they celebrate everything there. Okay. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. So and it's not religion, not political. It's just taking days off. Yeah, it's awesome. All right. Onward. Okay. Nobody protests there too. There's no protests on the island ever. Okay. Because nobody cares. It's actually the greatest thing. No, they really don't care. It's good. $82 expected move for the entire week. So why am I bringing this up? Because the bell just went off 36 minutes ago, and we're already beyond halfway home, pretty much to the upper edge of the expected move. So I said this in the weekend update. I'll say it again. Okay. That looks really small. The SPX weekly expected move is low on a relative basis. Relative to what? Opening weeks of the year, okay, have historically been pretty good sized moves. Opening weeks of the year. So yes, Friday was a trading day. By the way, on Friday, we did actually trade some serious size. You see that? So everybody's like, Friday's going to be dead because it's the day after New. Friday was not dead. Okay. Friday, the marketplace, didn't do that much. But look at the volume. The volume in the S&Ps was a rocking. Today, okay, it's 400,000 contracts is not exactly huge. Okay. But today I would expect, okay, some big boy movement, being a big boy movement. Okay. I think my my reversal ready yet? I liked this number right up here at about 69.45. Okay. I might trade a reversal here for today. I might take a shot. We'll see. So in the SPX, okay, we're seeing what I would believe this week should be an outsized move. Again, I'm going to stress this. Okay. I have anticipation. We're going to crack through the upper. We're going to crack through the lower edge of the expected move. It's all case stated. If I'm going to buy a butterfly, I'm going to do it today, and I'm going to buy a put butterfly out here. Call butterfly is not going to happen because we're already $40 away from the upper edge of the expected move. Lower edge of the expected move would actually work out quite well. Actually, that might be the first trade that I execute right here, right now. It's for the 9th. Okay. Let's open up a few more strikes. Let's get crazy. Okay, let's get crazy. So the lower edge of the expected move is right. It's right here. Now I'm out in the middle of nowhere. It's 67.75. So let's write it up. Okay, the lower edge of the expected move, right? $67.75. It's right there. It's right there. Now, come back here. Excuse me. That, okay, is what? 125 points away from where we're presently at. Like, that's crazy move. We've already had a 40-point move today. The upper edge of the expected move. Let's zoom in on that little monkey right there. Here's the upper edge of the expected move, 69.40. Okay. So I think that with today's rally, is there anything in the tape right now that says that we're going to reverse? Okay. Not necessarily. I mean, even Broadcom's come back, Apple's come back. The advanced decline line is not really getting much better. Okay. Dogs and cats living together. And by the way, the energy sector, yeah, that's over. Okay. Yeah. They're like, Venezuela. And then all of a sudden it's like, Venezuela. You know why? Because nobody cares. They don't. When it comes to trading, everybody realizes that the market cap, okay, of most sovereignties has already been eclipsed by the move in Tesla today. It's just ridiculous. Yes, I do like to consider market cap and like, okay, this is the People's Republic of Nvidia, run, okay, by a man in a leather jacket. All right. You think Maduro's bad? Wait until you piss off, okay, Jensen. Huh? Yeah, he's going to be much worse. Huh? Not off with your head. It's off with your GPU. Okay. I got your GPU right here, big guy. Back to the SPX. Focused on, focus in the SPX. I went a little bit off topic. It's okay. We're weaving a little bit. We'll get there. I need more strikes. More strikes. Oh, more strikes. More than 50. Okay. Let's go. 70 strikes. Okay. So 67.75. 67.75, 67.75. 4 days out, 4 days out. Now there's a $77 expected move still implied. Am I outside of that? I am. Okay. Which means, without unequivocation, this would be a really low probability shot, which tells me let's get crazy. Let's look at a $20 wide butterfly. $20 wide fly. Look at that. Look at the wings on that fly. It's just still going way downhill here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a $20 wide fly. Okay. I'm going to try, but I mean, I might fill. I don't want to pay more than like 40, 45 cents for this though. So it's a $20 wide fly. Okay. And yes, I'm very far away. He shoots. He does not score. I think I have to come to 45 cents. I might be able to get filled here at 45. Survey says no fill. Okay. If we rally a little bit more, come on, market. I don't really want to pay any more than that. So I'm at 45. Okay. I'll hit it again at 45. Okay. But I'm not filling at 45. So this is a $20 wide fly. Okay. Big fly. Big. Now, could I consider, if I came in here and created a duplicate order, could I consider chopping my wings down a little bit? It's just easier to rebuild. just come by deep and wide. 4 months. Sorry, 1 month, 3 strike butterfly. I'm having a little fun today. No, the coffee is good. Yeah. I'm excited. You want to know why I'm excited? My kids went back to school today. Okay. After I'm done here, I'm going to walk in the house and it's going to be quiet. It's going to be quiet. It's quiet in my office. And I like my office. I love my office, but it's quiet in the house. You want to know why? Because no kids. Okay. You can't go wrong with that. There's no kids. They went back to school. Bye. Don't let your door hit you on the way out, big guy. Um, even more excited will be my wife. All right. I'm going to cancel the $20 wide fly because it's just, I mean, I think I have the mid price right. Okay. But it's not going to fill. It might fill if we rallied a little bit more. Okay. We could be patient. What do you want to do? You want to be patient? Okay. I'm not sure I want to be too patient though here because I'm not feeling all warm and fuzzy that the marketplace just continues to propagate gains. I mean, what positive could happen today? The financials are already up $1.20. The energy sector faded. Okay. You already had Nvidia rally and fade. Tesla's up. I don't see a lot of positive affirmations, okay, on the horizon over here. So this is a $15 wide fly. Now the $15 wide fly, I don't think I could fill it for 25. Okay, that would be like a ridiculous fill. I think this thing trades more like 35 cents, but I'm gonna take some shots. There you go, 30 cents. So I did fill a $15 wide fly at 30 cents, which is people. This is a dirt cheap shot to the outside. Okay. And I can't stress that anymore. And I'll do like 3 of them. And the reason I'm going to do 3 of them in here, first of all, I wanted to make sure 100% sure that I could fill in the trade. Okay. Secondly, okay, before I send this out, again, I want to clarify. Okay. This is an extremely low probability shot. Whoops, I didn't type the word shot. That would have what I did type would have been blanked out over there, but there, I popped it into chat. Obviously, I've traded a couple of them, and we'll start off swinging. So I'm going to do the $15 wide fly. Okay, and maybe you're like, oh, you could have done the $20 wide fly. So you could, if you want, do 1 or 2 of these and then wait and see if you can do the $20 wide fly later. It's okay. You can do that. I'll be okay with it. Okay. I still love you. I'll still love you, but it's an extraordinarily low probability shot. But if you look like, last week, lower edge of the expected move. Week before that, man, we were right on the upper edge of the expected move. We did crack outside of it, but we had 2 days to the lower edge of the expected move last week. The week before, you had 2 days at the upper edge of the expected move. Okay. We're seeing a lot of expected move action. The week before that, lower edge of the expected move, then rallied out, okay, and on and on and on and on. You guys kind of get it. There's really high probability trading the upper or lower edge of an expected move. Now, let's come back to the XSP and see what we got here. This is January 5th, okay? If we're going to consider like a 0 DTE trade, okay, this is a close your eyes, buy a, if I can get this thing. I'm just looking at the bid offer spread. I'll explain the trade though in a moment. By the way, the trade I'm looking at right now, you have to basically put 80 bucks at risk. Okay, no more, no less. That's it. It's 80 bucks at risk for 44 delta. Okay, and this is all on the line. Okay, so you have 100% risk in this particular trade that I just executed in XSP. So when I say 100% of risk, there would have to be a reversal in here. Do you see a reversal in the tape? You go, I do not. Okay. I don't either. But hold on. Okay. Because I may trade another one of these. But so I don't see a reversal in the tape. Okay. What I do, in fact, see, and here's where I want to show you, because I was talking about 0 DTE, and I'm going to do, listen, I'm going to do a 4-week mastermind on zero DTE, and it's coming up. It starts next week. And then I'm going to do a full like 3 hours of live trading. That zero DTE session is going to go a hell of a lot deeper than just what I'm doing here. A hell of a lot deeper. Okay. This is the easiest, the most straightforward setup where you just close your eyes, okay, and just go, okay, if we reverse, I'm going to be a hero. Okay. If we don't, I'm going to be a zero. This is the most simplistic setup that you can basically do with zero DTE. But why? Why? Okay. I still like it. Just because it's simple doesn't mean I don't have to, I like it. Okay. I wouldn't have done the trade if I didn't like it, because I want you to see something. There's a product right now trading 69.43. Okay. Product. I don't care if it's XSP. It doesn't make a difference. 690.40. I can get that out. Okay. 690.40. You just risked 80 cents to be able to make what? There's still a $2 expected move. So if we moved this option, okay, $2, this 80-cent option could be worth as much as basically $2. So if you're wrong, you will lose 80 cents. If you're right, you don't make a full $2. If you're right, okay, you're going to make basically about $1.20. And that is a really good risk reward, okay? Assuming that you're $2 of movement packed into this marketplace. We've already seen like $46 move today, so it's clearly can move $2 and then some. And that's it. That's the trade. Like there's nothing more. This trade is not based on like a setup. Like when you look at this, you're like, okay, we're at highs right now. Okay. I don't see a huge rotation. I will say this though, like the financials, they're fully priced. So it's going to be hard for them to continue to have upside. So even if the S&Ps are going to continue to go up, what's going to do it? It has to be fueled. Like Nvidia's got to come back up. Okay. Meta's streaking right now. It came back up. Meta to the rescue. This is a tech rally. Okay. If anything fades though in here, the markets pull back a little bit. It is what it is. So I'm taking a shot, but I don't know anything directionally. And that's weird for people. That's a weird place because, most people will convince you like, oh, look, man, if you look at this chart, like, oh, I could come up with different, the volatility's up and that's why we might sell off and this is up. Okay. Actually, in here, there's nothing that's bearish. Okay. There's nothing really that's bearish. The VVIX is even backed off from where it was this morning. There's nothing that's, bearish per se in the tape. So why would you take a bearish trade? Taking a bearish trade because we're already outside the expected move. And quite frankly, taking a bearish trade because the risk reward in here, it's good. It's really good. That's it. Okay. And you don't have to like that trade. There's going to be, a bunch of other ones that I'm going to teach in the mastermind, including selling. Okay. Because there's also a great opportunity today to even sell options in zero DTE. And that's an area that, let me tell you right now, I don't talk about that here in this chat room because it takes a different kind of a trader to want to sell options in here. You go, what would you do? Like, look, we've already exceeded, okay, the daily expected move. Can the S&Ps go higher? They can. But, okay, there could be some good premium to sell out here. But you got to be right. Okay. That one you're going to have to be right on. Whereas if I'm wrong, the max I can lose is $80. Woo! When you're wrong on the sell side, okay, ooh, it's going to get crazy. Okay. You can lose some money if you're wrong on the sell side. Just looking at some of these spreads. Okay. Oh, that was a $15 wide spread for $2.20 credit, but you got to get above. Check this out. 69.20. Okay. That is one hell of a rally that's got to come your way. Yeah. Okay. I know people look at the risk reward here like, you're crazy. Look, this is a spread, not because it's a spread. This is a spread because it's just mitigating my margin. Okay. So we will talk about many of these setups. Okay. many of the setups, a lot of setups that you can do in 0 DTE, a lot of setups. Okay. And we'll talk about those that have to be monitored. The trade I put on XSP, I ain't got to monitor crap. Okay. I'm a hero or I'm a zero. That's it. Okay. And I'll do that 5 days a week because I got to tell you, all you have to be right, okay, is like less than 50% of the time. I can do that. Look, I can do that. The whole idea is it's about numbers of occurrences. You just got to keep coming back to the well and coming back to the well. Okay. You must be patient. You must be very patient. Continuing on. Okay. So somebody said filled at 25 cents. Can you really fill that at 25 cents? You fill that little monkey? Yeah, you probably did. We moved up nominally. Okay. I don't want to confuse you. Never mind. Okay. I was going to do something stupid. I'm not going to do it stupid. Sometimes I have to control the stupidity. Okay. I'll trade it in a different. I was going to do the $20 wide fly now. Okay. I was going to do the $20 wide fly too, because I like $20 wide flies. You're like, you're crazy, man. You're not going to come down here. Okay. You don't know that. You don't know where we're going to be by expiration. A lot can happen in 4 days. Okay. Things are going good. Things are not going so good. Okay. The People's Republic of Jensen turns on us. Okay. Yeah, I will trade the $20 Wi-Fi, which is down here, but I will trade it in another account. So, okay. I'm trading it behind the scenes. We actually look right now like we're not even done going highs. New highs. Speaking of new highs. All right. So the SPX this week has an $82.77 expected move. We're already exceeding today's expected move. Welcome back to volume. Again, I was saying this earlier and I wanted to clarify. The expected move is low on a relative basis. It's relative to, I looked at previous year's expected moves. Okay. Previous year expected moves. And the price action was strange this year. It's like $82, really? Okay, because if you looked at the previous year, there was a lot more in terms of percentage moves. By the way, there's a lot more oomph behind that first week of trade. You expect the first trading week of the year to have a little fever pitch. Speaking of a fever pitch, okay, crypto, okay, so crypto, specifically Bitcoin, has got a nice bid back under it. People, I've been talking about this for weeks. I expected a bid back, it clawing its way up to like 97,000 before getting pummeled again. This is a real bid back though, okay? And I'm going to let it play right now. Let it play. I can see that BITO is the ETF for the Bitcoin futures, hit the upper edge expected move, but retracted. Hit the upper edge of expected move. If this thing shatters the expected move this week, it could be opportunistic for a short, but it's too early. It is too early. Let, okay, Bitcoin rally before we're actually going to step back in on the short side. Let it happen. Let it exceed, in my opinion, let it exceed some of these other highs. Okay, right in here, 95,000. Let's see if it shoots for like 97. And again, that's one where maybe I miss it, maybe I don't. I don't care. I don't want to be engaging right now. Let's come over to silver. Silver is back on the bid. They like me. They really, really like me. Up until the point that this is a pile of crap. Take a look at silver today, right? Its options order flow is nothing less than stupendous, thick amount of options. Look at the calls being traded in here. It's literally Mr. Toad's wild ride. So you got that going for you. These are huge moves, people. These are huge moves on a percentage basis. And okay, I've been reiterating like day in and day out. You need only look just at pure implied volatility. Okay, that implied volatility is still sky high in there. This is something that has bothered me, not just about silver. It's bothered me in silver. Okay, in relation to the whole marketplace, silver. It's like it's in the middle of a crisis right now, okay? That doesn't, like, it's not resonating to the rest of the market. In the other instances, when silver's volatility spiked this much, the world was in crisis. It was literally in crisis. And no one seems to care about anything right now other than AI, okay? They got their heads shoved right up the AI, Okay. And they just let it go. Okay. This is a weird, by the way, people always talk about, this is a weird time to be alive. This really is a weird time to be alive. You don't even know what's real, what's fake. Okay. I saw something that was just egregious on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it. Just wild on X this weekend. I'm not even going to talk about what it was because it was completely wrong. And people were like, is this real? Okay. Holy crap. It's unbelievable. It really is. Like people were dead serious asking like, Grok, is this real? Wow. Okay. We've come a long way if you think that's real. By the way, there was no chance that what I was looking at was real. But people were kind of confused, okay, by it. By the way, it's back to energy for a second. Energy is getting a little bit of a bid back under it. Okay, markets just burst to the upside. Okay, don't worry on your XSP trade. Okay, don't worry about that. If I exit, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, it's going to be absolutely worthless. Okay, can you say worthless? Okay, it happens. Nvidia. Okay, CoreWeave. I saw Baidu pulling back pretty dramatically this morning too. In fact, China was pulling back quite considerably. Here we go, Baidu. Okay, nice little pullback in here, which lasted all of like 5 minutes. Say that is stock pulled back. This was a huge bid. This happens to be Baidu, and what's going on inside of Baidu is they're taking a portion of the company, spinning it off into an IPO, going to be unlocking some value. Near term, very positive for the company. Long term, maybe not so much. You're also seeing a little bit of a pullback of Baba. Some of the other Chinese assets are pulling back to some degree. Speaking of which, Broadcom, which was getting hammered earlier, is back on the bid. Jeff Bierman, how you doing?
Oh, this is a strange day. It's
It is a strange day.
they're abandoning like four sectors and panic chasing tech and financials today.
I was looking down here, like, yeah, I saw the XLU. It's a rotation, right? So let's
Yeah,
get rid of XLU. We
yeah,
don't like healthcare; they suck. Okay,
exactly.
XLP, well, it's always sucked. So welcome to Walmart. But remember, Walmart isn't that a tech stock? They
Yeah,
joined the Nasdaq, man. Okay, they joined the Nasdaq. I mean, literally, they're like playing themselves off. They're like, nah, man, we're not consumer staples anymore. Now we're tech. Okay, until you walk into the Walmart and you see the greeter over there, which is always interesting. Okay, by the way, if anybody is in here, a Walmart greeter, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other Walmart greeters.
oh, geez.
Okay, I know you did it for the insurance. They gave you good insurance at Walmart. Okay, actually, working at Walmart, nothing wrong with it. There's like one of the biggest employers in the entire world. It's just that the Walmart greeters, okay, it's just okay, it's not tech. It doesn't scream tech. Definitely doesn't scream tech. Okay. Actually, though, if you go to a real tech company and you think about like Walmart greeters tech company, just thought about that one. That's a complete freak show. Have you been in some of the tech companies? I mean, like original Thinkorswim, there were more developers than traders in there.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man. It was like visiting the Star Wars bar. What was the name of the bar?
Ma something ma
I
ma's.
can't remember, man.
Yeah,
It
your
was, it
brain's
was
starting to go.
well, no, I never remember this name in the Star Wars bar, but it was like the Star Wars
Mos
bar.
Eisley.
Okay. Was
Mos
Eisley?
Eisley bar. There it is.
Okay. On Tatooine
Tantalum. Yeah.
before Disney screwed it up. Okay. Something Cantina.
I told you, Mos Eisley Cantina. That was it.
I know. I love that. Okay. Sorry. I do believe I have to turn it over to you. What are you talking about this morning?
Perspective forecast in the news for the throughout the year. I'm gonna not gonna say it's gonna happen in a day, but I think over the course of the year you're gonna see a lot of rotations, and I'm gonna try to get ahead of these rotations.
Today there are some rotations going on. It's just no question today. That's what it is. It's just big, crazy rotation in here. And as long as, right now it's Meta and Tesla. Okay. But, the S&P is being up 53 and all of a sudden you got, it's bad when they're buying financials because there's
Oh yeah,
clearly nothing else to buy when you're buying financials. I mean,
right.
look at that move, man. That's absolutely staggering. Starting off the year with a 2.5% bid to the upside. All right, well, Jeff, I got to turn it over to you. I'm going to hop off here. I'll be here all day. I'm going to shop some trades. I actually think today is going to be a good day. I'm going to look. a couple of in-out spreads, because if they're going to rotate back out of some of these in the next couple of days. Might be able to get a decent bearish in-out spread. By the way, I don't mean to bear up, but the skew is high. And right now, buying a bullish spread is not cost effective. So, ladies and gentlemen, you now have the infamous Professor Jeff Bierman with you for, well, for the next hour. Jeff, all yours.
All right, let me take this, grab this, and move it. Gotta making a chart. Sorry, people.